everyone, welcome back to JTech class one more time. We have been away for a long time, but we're back. So today we're gonna learn how to install Ubuntu 16.04 server on a VM using Hyper-V Manager. Now this is gonna be a quick tutorial. We're gonna go through a series of videos so we can learn how to set up a web server with a domain and HT Apache server on it, so we can guarantee access from a different website to our users. Okay, so let's begin. So the first thing we need to do is just go to Hyper-V. You just connect to your server. In this case, I have two computers there that will act as a server. And then we're gonna do add a virtual, so we're gonna say new virtual machine. We're gonna click next, and then we're gonna give it a name, and the name for this one will be web server. Actually, let's call it web server. We're gonna create a generation 1. It supports 32 bits and 64 bits operating systems. The difference between the two is how much space it supports on hard drives and the UEFI base BIOS. So we're gonna give it 2044 gigs of RAM, just because I can, and then I'm just gonna say that it's gonna use a virtual switch. So if you don't know how to create a virtual switch, we'll take that on another moment, but right now we don't have time for that. So we're gonna create assign that virtual switch to it, and then we're gonna create a new hard drive, and it's gonna have a location. And for this hard drive, I'm gonna give it 80 gigs because it's not gonna host a large amount of websites. So 80 gigs for me will be fine. You can give it a different name to the server if you want. I'm just gonna to the hard drive if you want. I'm just gonna leave it with the same name so I know which hard drive goes to with which server. Okay, so I'm just gonna say next, and now we're gonna say install from, and then I'm just gonna pick here. Just gonna go back here. Just gonna go to my FTP. I'm gonna go to my operating system. I'm gonna go to Linux, Ubuntu server 16.04. We're gonna say that, and we just say next, finish. And that's how we set up the VM. So it's pretty easy and pretty quick. So after that, we're just gonna say start, right click start, and then we're gonna double click it so we can have the graphic interface from it. So right now it won't allow us to, in that moment it won't allow us to see it full time. So now we're gonna go full time screen. Now from here on you will use your keyboard. So I'm just gonna say I want it English, and I want to install Ubuntu server. And after that it's gonna start asking me for a couple stuff. So it's gonna go through the process. It's gonna show you to select the English for the keyboard, select the language. I'm gonna say my keyboard will be United States. So here you can try and type the word so it can identify the hard drive for you. The keyboard. So I'm just gonna say no because I want to select my keyboard from the list. I'm gonna say English US, English US. You can start typing and it will recognize what language keyboard you want to use. So it should ask a couple more questions. Just checking the CD-ROM. The way getting web servers on Linux is the most common thing now. If you use IIS server, well, I wouldn't recommend it, but Apache server is pretty good, and it's really easy to configure. If you have basic understanding of Linux, it's gonna be a little bit harder, but we're gonna do a couple of videos so we can understand more about Linux and how to move inside it. So we're gonna go through the basics of Linux in the next couple of videos. So now it's loading additional components. So I'm just gonna pause the video till it prompts for something else. Alright, so we got a new screen here that asks me for the host name. I'm just gonna put demo web server, and that's a long name, so I'm just gonna say demo. I'm just gonna hit enter. Now it's gonna keep doing its stuff. Now it's gonna ask you for the name for the user. So in this case, we're gonna call it demo, and the username account is gonna be demo. And the password, well, we just have to put a password on it. So it's gonna put that password. Okay, I don't want to include my home directory. You can do it if you want, but if you're a basic user, if this is your first time with Linux, I would recommend not doing it. I'm just gonna say no, and now it's gonna start setting up stuff. Based on your present physical location, it's gonna give you the time zone, so you can just say yes, or if it doesn't find the zone you want, you can say no, and you can search for your zone. Okay, now it's gonna set up a partitioning for the disk. If this is your first time, just use guide, use entire disk. It's recommended for beginners. You can set up the different partitioning if you want. So I'm just gonna say guys for the entire disk. It's gonna show you the disk you have. So if you have more than one, it's gonna show more than one, and you just have to select which one you want. And then it's gonna ask you to write the changes to the disk. I'm gonna say yes, and then it's gonna start partitioning and formatting your hard drive, the different extensions and different partitions. By default, Linux install one swap partition, and this swap partition is like the page file on Windows environment. So your RAM get to storage information on that swap partition when it's full, so you can access to it later. So now it's just going to start installing the system. So I'm just going to pause this for a minute because this could take a minute or two. So we'll be right back as soon as it. So we're back, and now it's just asking for configuring the package manager. One thing I forgot to tell at the beginning is that you need internet connection for this if you're using the same ISO that I use. You can download on ubuntu.org. I think is the web page. So I'm just gonna say continue because we don't have a proxy, and it's gonna continue configuring the packages. So I'm just gonna pause again till it finish. So after doing that, after getting all the packages, it's gonna ask you if you wanna configure to get updates automatically. See if you want no updates or if you want just install the security updates. I'm just gonna say security updates because it's always good to have the last updates for your security patches. So it's gonna select all the software to be installed, and it's gonna start installing it, and it could take a couple minutes for that. You're just gonna pause it again so the video goes quicker. Okay, so now we go to another Windows, and this one give you a series of options that we can select to install different services. For example, we can have manual package selection. We can select the DNS server, it will install it for us. The LAMP server, that will be the web server. It does include database with MySQL, PHP, and Apache. You can install also mail server, PostgreSQL database. You can install the Samba server. If you don't know what all this means, we're gonna cover all those in a further videos. You can install a VM software, or you can install OpenSSH server. Again, if you don't know what this means, don't worry about it. Just leave it at standard system utilities. Just click continue. We're gonna cover all those on further videos. It's gonna say continue. It's gonna select and install the software. So you can see it's 212 packages. So you will have to download all those packages. You will have to install them and configure it. So again, I'm gonna pause the video so it doesn't take like 20 minutes. So we're already at 97%, and as you can see, it has finished installing all the programs. So now it's just cleaning up. Now it should ask me to install the group. The group is just like a menu that would allow me to select what OS I want to boot from. It shouldn't take too long. It should be coming soon. Okay. Come on. Coming out. Coming out. Okay. Still waiting. Okay, so it's installing the group, so now it should ask for if we want to install it or not. So it's gonna retrieve the package for the group. It's gonna prepare it. Linux is an amazing tool that I would recommend for everyone to learn, as it has unlimited possibilities. So here we go. So do we want to install the group on the master boot record? Yes, we do. If you have more than one OS, this will be recommended, because then when the computer boots, you can select which OS you want to go to. It's pretty nice. It should go to 99 or 100 real quick. Some data in the group. Here we go. So it's just setting up the users. Now when it's finishing the installation, it's gonna ask you to eject the drive so it can continue. So just gonna say yes to that, and it's gonna eject it for all from us, so we don't have to do it. If just in the case it keeps saying to eject the drive, you just have to minimize this window, go to media, CD drive, and just say eject and the name of the ISO. Gonna go back to full screen mode. Okay, so it's done. As you can see, it's telling me the installation is finished. Please remove the CD-ROM, and we're just gonna say continue. Gonna remove some packages. And I hope this video can be under 15 minutes. You can go through it, you can like pass over if you like, because most of the time it's just waiting for the computer to finish a task. And depending on how much RAM you have and the processor you're using, this could take longer, this could take a shorter period of time. So we just gave it 2 gigs to the VM, and I don't have like a really stream processor for this computer running VMs. So it should be rebooting soon. I'm just gonna pause it here until it reboots. So it's booting now. I couldn't record the group. It was really fast. It's like 2 seconds and it already selects the first OS it has in there unless you press a key. So it's just checking all the system configuration files. Linux doesn't work like Windows, so it has everything on a file that you can modify, and then you just have to save it and reload the service, and you reload the file, and then you don't have to reboot most part of the time when you modify the system. So we're just gonna log in here. We're gonna say demo. Oops, sorry, wrong user. We're just gonna say demo, and we're gonna put the password. Hope this one is the right password. Now this version that we installed, this version is the server version, so it doesn't have a graphical interface. If you want a graphic interface, I would recommend download the desktop version that already comes with a graphic interface. So this is pretty much everything for this video. We just got to the installation. On the next video, we're gonna go over the command line a little bit, and we're gonna learn some commands that will be really useful for us. So this is pretty much everything for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.